I'm back.
Yep.
I'm back.
Tara's back.
Back.
I'm back.
Everybody? Okay, so we're good? Okay, so any questions on anything so far? On anything? Anything we've talked about so far today? Any questions at all?
Hey, Matt, that manual or whatever, where was that at? Was that something Tyler sent out?
It's in his drive folder. Who is that?
The Chris. It's in
his folder.
Which one are you asking for, Chris?
Like the one that had
VA workbook.
well, like, are we gonna get the that mock ad that Amanda had and everything? Is that all
Yeah.
manual, or is that it is okay?
Yeah, you get all that. That is in your workbook that we sent in your folder. So, let's see here.
Is what is it called? Is it the virtually unemployed or which one?
No, it's actually called
VA workbook.
the VA workbook.
It's in the very, very top level folder.
Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up and see. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Hang on. Okay. Desktop share. Okay, so you guys can see my screen now, right?
Yep.
So what you were asking for is this, what's that? Oh, that's Robbie. Robbie, mute your phone. I got it. Okay. So the copy of this virtual business workbook, Chris, that's where it's at right here.
Okay.
Now I'm going to refresh this because I believe you added something, didn't you, Tyler?
Yep.
Okay. Guys, have you taken a minute to look in this and everything yet that you have so far? I don't want to.
I haven't even opened it up yet.
I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to take a look at some of the stuff. Like I'm going to click on this first one really quick here. This is the first folder in that. That's everything that you've got so far. All these are videos on how-tos. Everything that we've talked about, we created. I created videos for you guys for every single thing we're talking about.
We like videos.
So each one of these is, they're probably, what do you think, Tyler? Most of them average like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, some are longer than some are 9 minutes.
Yeah, some of them are up to 10 minutes, but every single possible thing that we do, we created a video for you guys on. Okay. So that's the first folder. If I had to go back. So, what's that? What were you saying?
If you click VBM package to leave the little title, you can just jump right back there.
Oh, okay. Okay, so take a minute at the end of the day to go through some of the stuff that you guys have, just so you're familiar with it, and we're going to be going through some more of this stuff later. But what I want to do is I want to take a minute. I'm going to have Tyler jump. Are you going to do it from your computer? Or are you jumping up here? So Tyler's going to jump on. I want to show you guys a free way to sign from anywhere. So we're going to show you one more way to sign that's free. The other thing is we're going to show you tomorrow Podio through your Podio system signing documents. That also doesn't cost anything either, does it? Yeah, it's just included with Podio. So we're going to show you that, and then tomorrow also we are going to. We're going to show you how to get stuff notarized without leaving your house or having a notary come to your house. How cool is that? So I'm going to show you how, because I want you to do this all from your house. So Tyler, why don't you, I'm going to stop my share and you jump in and do your thing real quick here.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. So just to go back, let me share my screen. Everyone should be able to see my screen now, right?
Yep.
So also in that folder, it was kind of important. Just refresh it so it comes back. There is a Google Doc in each of your folders that says VBM package details. If you go into that, you have all those bonuses that you purchased. So one was the Zoom event. If you just got the Zoom event, that's all you'll see. Some people got like the Facebook VIP. All those links are in there to get each of those bonuses. I just want to touch on that while we were talking about the folder. But what I wanted to cover was the free way to sign documents. So I just emailed myself a fake contract. This is just a document I pull off the internet. But say you had to sign something on your computer, you just got an email back. This can work on your cell phone or your computer. But the thing is, the way I am going to train it right now, you need an Apple device. It might work on Samsung, it might work on Windows, but I'm not sure the exact way to do it. But I'm going to show you the way to do it on an iPhone and a Mac. So let's say this document just came in. I need to sign it. I'm going to download that to my computer real quick and open it up. Now, if you're on a Mac, there's a little pencil right there. You click that. If you look in this menu that pops up for all your tools, there's a little signature button. So you can, one, create your signature by using your mouse on your computer. Just draw on it and make a signature. Now you can apply that to your document. Just click it, drag it, put it on. That's one way. And then you can also use your camera or your iPhone. So I'm not going to use the camera one right now because the way that works is you get a pencil or a pen and you take a physical piece of paper and write out your signature on that paper and hold it up to the webcam on your computer and it'll snap your signature right into the computer. If I click iPhone, I don't know if you guys can still see my face, but my phone popped up with a little signature line. I just sign on my phone and it pops in. And now I have my signature there. All I have to do is save that now. I can jump back to my email, apply, grab that real quick. Now I just sent back a signed document. It's pretty easy if you got a Mac or a iPhone. The same thing, you open on your iPhone, you open up your mail program and you can just annotate just like that and sign right on your phone. How many of you guys have a Mac? Any of you guys? Josh?
Have an iPhone, but no
Yep.
Mac.
Yeah, so that'll work on an iPhone. You just save it.
An iPhone. I got an iPhone.
Yep. Save it to files on your iPhone, and there's a little markup tool. Sign right on there, and it's quick. I mean, you just screenshot or save it right there and send it back. You want to touch on anything else, Matt? Before it's quick.
That's with and your iPhone too.
Yeah, same thing.
Cool.
I can't really show my iPhone right now, but
All right, I'm gonna turn my volume back up again.
okay, I'll go mute quick.
Are most sellers comfortable with these type of signatures?
Yeah, Matt's signature on every single purchase agreement we send out is a digital signature.
So you got so yeah, not only do we do it that way, but watch what happens over you guys over the next probably 6 months to a year. Most of your closings and all of the documents done by your closing a deal, they're going to start allowing DocuSign for those too, or HelloSign. Electronic signatures is going to be the way stuff is signed soon. You won't need signatures any other way. A lot of the counties haven't changed that yet, but that's coming. So I want to take a minute now, and I'm going to pull up in your folder. Let me show you guys what we're going to do here. I'll just show you where I'm at. I'm going to screen share again. Okay, just so you know where we're going here, I want to take a minute to talk through this whole entire process. So I'm going to go to the second folder down in your package, and we're going to talk through this. So if you want, go ahead and pull this up, and let's see if I can. Oop, crap. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that before I ruin something. Okay, I want to go through this, and I want to make sure everybody is very, very aware of every step we're going to take, okay? So I just want to clear up everything and make sure we're all on the same page. A lot of times people really like to go through this. So step one, this is the whole wholesaling process. This is start to finish. Okay, so first of all, leads come in through marketing channels. Okay, we talked today about setting up and pulling lists, right? Everybody's got the whole pulling list thing down, right? So you got your leads coming in from pulling list. You've got your leads coming in from texting. You've got your leads coming in from cold calling, right? The three main ways that I do deals. Let's just go through them. Every single month, still make MLS offers. Are you guys making MLS offers right now? Anyone?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, we're still doing MLS offers, and we still get about 2 to 4 offers accepted a month through the MLS. Okay. Right now is a great time to do MLS offers. Why? Because with the COVID-19, a lot of realtors are dropping like flies, and sellers are frustrated because their peak time to list their houses for sale is right now, and they're not doing it, or their realtors are telling them to hold off, or they've listed them and they're not getting any activity. So hitting the MLS is important right now. So we're making MLS offers. We're doing cold calling, about 3,000 dials a week. We're doing 5,000 direct mail pieces a week. We're doing hundreds or thousands of texting a week. I said MLS. We usually clip off like one Craigslist deal a month. We'll clip off a Zillow deal a month on average. We're doing, I have 15 to 20 company vehicles hitting on the streets all the time. We end up getting a couple of deals a month from those, 1 to 2 deals a month from those, I think something in that range. And that's just free. I paid for the logos, the wrap on the vehicle one time, and those just get calls forever. Every single van's got a different phone number, so we know which ones are getting calls. So I'm trying to think if there's any other ways. And then wholesalers, I'm buying 4 or 5 houses a month from wholesalers as well. Those are all the different leads sources that I'm pulling in leads every single day. Those leads come in. Now, I want you guys to do a lot of the same stuff. Now, again, the method that's working the best for us, that we get the most leads, the top 3, direct mail, cold calling, texting. That's where we get most of our leads. That's why we spent time today going over how you guys should be able to pull a list and skip trace that list, so you can cold call it. You can use that list to do direct mail. Do you guys want me to have Amanda go through tomorrow actually sending a postcard, like going to set it up and send it? Do you want to take that time tomorrow? Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll have Amanda do the postcards tomorrow. Write that down real quick. So, and we'll just show you the 2 postcards that we only do 2 now. I don't think we used to send a couple others, but 2 of them work so well, we don't even do anything else. So, so the cold calling, texting, and the direct mail. The list that's working the best is the one we just covered. A high equity, non-owner occupied, vacant home. That list is the best list that we use. That list will generate leads, and those leads are yours to convert. So those leads come in, then we go, and those leads have to go somewhere. Okay, now this is what we do. Now I'm going to tell you what you can do. There's 2 choices here. we use a company to take all of our inbound leads because of, think about it. We've got 5,000 direct mail pieces a week. We've got 3,000 direct calls a week, cold calls. We got thousands of text messages. That's a lot of leads, right? Those leads are coming in nonstop every single day. So I made a decision in my company to have a call center take those calls. And that call center used to be called Answer One, and now it's called it's Nexa now. They changed. Yeah, Nexa. Nexa is who takes those calls. And I do that because of just the sheer cost. It's dirt cheap to have them answer the phone, and it answer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So no matter what time somebody picks up the phone, a live person answers the phone. Now you don't have to do it that way. You can have a virtual assistant. You could set it up a couple different ways. You could have a virtual assistant that answers the phone for you, but then it's like, okay, you got to have other stuff for them to work. If you're going to pay them to answer the phone in the times that they're not answering the phone, you got to have them do something else. So you could put it on your virtual assistant that you hire right now. Your call volume is not going to be as high as me. I would not recommend you guys to do 12,000 touches or 12,000 marketing pieces a week like I'm doing, because you wouldn't be able to handle the volume. You'd be losing leads. You'd be overwhelmed. Too many leads are coming in. You couldn't process the leads fast enough to see what are good leads and what are bad leads and what to kick out and what to go after. So you're going to start much smaller. You're going to do less, but you're going to work up to that, right? You're going to ramp up over time as you can handle the leads. So I would say you can use a call center if you want, or you can just bring the leads in. You could have the virtual assistant help you with that, but again, have them do something else. You could bring them into you, but I don't really personally, unless you love talking on the phone and doing the data entry stuff, you could be using your time wisely somewhere else. I would probably push those leads into a virtual assistant or a call center. Any questions on any of that? Any comments? Anything? Josh, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Where are you pushing your leads right now?
Into Podio.
Yeah, but who's answering the phone?
Oh, Nexa.
Nexa is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so one of the things, so what we're doing, you guys, is that there's a Google form. That's another thing we need to cover, Tyler. The Google form. I want to show those guys. Yeah, it's already in there. Okay, well, we're already covering that, so we'll show you guys that. So what happens is you don't have double entry. You don't have to go in and the answering service or the VA takes the call and fills out the lead sheet there, and then you have to transfer that into your CRM or Podio. That's already being done automatically. So these leads come in to your call center, your virtual assistant. A lead sheet gets filled out. Okay, everybody is still with me here? That lead sheet, that virtual assistant's filling it out inside of your Podio. That lead automatically gets inputted. You automatically get a notification that you have a new lead to work on. Does that make sense? So you get a notification. I got a new lead. Awesome. This is going to happen. If you start marketing, you're going to be getting leads constantly. So now you have to take a look at that lead. Okay, does that lead make sense? Do we want to spend any time on that lead? If it's a bad lead because there's no equity, then we kill it. So for example, easy numbers. You've got a deal that's worth $100,000, quick ARV. You say, okay, this thing's worth $100,000. The seller is motivated to sell. They want $80,000 for the house, and they owe, $78,000. Is that a deal that we would work and spend time on?
No,
God, you're shaking your head. No. Why is that?
not enough equity.
There isn't enough equity for that deal. There's not enough equity. So let's say, different scenario. $100,000 house, seller wants $80,000. They owe nothing on it. Is that something we should move forward on or kill?
Move forward.
Why is that?
Plenty of equity. You can
Right.
make it.
It does not matter what the seller's asking price is, okay? I really only care about a couple of things. One, is there equity that I can talk the seller down? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two is, so is there equity? And the second one is, are they motivated? Because you show me a seller, I don't care what their asking price is, you show me a seller that's got equity that I can buy the house at the price that I want because they don't owe anything on it or they owe very little and they're motivated to sell, I'm buying the house for the price that I say. Okay, either today, next month, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or 2 years from now, I'm going to get that house. 75% of the deals we buy are follow-up leads. We initially got the contact, we filled out the lead sheet, we made contact with the seller, we negotiated with the seller, we could not come to an offer price agreement. We had to follow up with that deal, and then we bought it later. 75% of the deals we do are follow-up leads. Does that surprise anybody?
Not me. Most of my deals have been through follow-up.
Yep, exactly. That's part of the game. So think about it. We're going to talk to the seller. We're going to make an offer. We don't care what they're asking. We offer what we need to offer. So it does not matter what their asking price is. If you get a lead coming in and it's worth 100 grand and they're asking 90, but they owe nothing on it and they're motivated to sell, you need to work on that deal. Okay. If they've got no equity and they're motivated though, they're really highly motivated, but they have no equity, you can't spend any more time on it. If they're unmotivated and they have no equity, that's definitely not anything you're going to spend time on. But we want to deal with people with equity and something that we have motivation for. So we kick out the leads that won't work. No equity, not motivated. Then we move on. Okay, so we got a lead. They got person who house is worth $100,000. They owe they owe nothing. They're asking 80. That's a good lead. So they're motivated. It's a good lead. We move forward in the pipeline. So now we're here. So now that's entered into the CRM. Okay, we've got it there. We didn't do that. We didn't enter that in the CRM. That was automatically done with the VA or the call center. So it's in there. Okay. Now we know. Now, by the way, you guys, there's a process here that we are just doing a quick ARV. Okay. A quick version to see. Once you understand your area and you do more and more deals, once you understand that, this will be very, very fast. You'll know a deal in a second if it's worth your time. In the beginning right now, you have to come up with ways to do quick ARVs in order to see if it's going to be worth your time. If you have no clue in the market that you're in, if you don't have any clue if it's a good deal or not, you're going to do this. One, you're going to check the assessed value of that house. So you go to the county assessor site and you see what it's assessed for. That's one way to get a quick value. What's another way you can use to get a quick value?
Zillow.
You could use Zillow. Now, is Zillow accurate? If Zillow says it's worth 100 grand, is that what it is?
No.
Not necessarily. But it's a good place to get a quick value. Even more so, very quickly, you could go to a section and check Zillow for other comparable sales in that area. Maybe we'll go through. We're actually going to do that tomorrow, so I don't even need to write that down. That's part of tomorrow's when we do comps. So I'm going to show you guys that tomorrow. Quick values. How do we discover quick values? Is it worth our time or not? So at that point right here, we need to know if it's got quick value, if it's worth us going forward. So now we run. We're going to run. We've decided it's worth our time. We've got it entered in. We're going to end up making an offer on this property. Okay. So the person's got equity. It's a good lead. They have equity and they're motivated. Okay. So let's run comps on it to see what this thing is actually worth. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to spend a lot of time on this. One of the biggest things that I see is most people, most newer investors, the biggest mistakes they make are they either offer, they look at the value of a property and they actually think the value is worth more than what it really is. And with those deals, they end up putting them under contract at too high of a price, and then they can't ever sell them at the back out, and it's never fun. That's one problem. A second problem I see most new investors is they undervalue a property. They get it under contract and they sell it, and then they sell it way too cheap and they give away all their profit to the guy that they wholesale it to. So we're going to spend a little bit of time on this to really dial this in. So once we get the real number, we've decided it's worth our time. It's a good lead. We're going to dial in. Now we're going to go through the process of actually running comps on it to make sure that the equity is solid. Okay, we're going to do that tomorrow. If we've discovered that, man, Zillow was way off and this thing ain't worth anywhere near what we thought, we kill it. If it is, we have equity, we move forward and we set up an appointment. So we set up this, it's got equity. We set up an appointment for pictures and a walkthrough. Now, here's the thing. So you guys are never leaving your house, right? I want this is to be virtual. So if you need pictures, there's a couple things you can do. There's a walkthrough sheet we're going to be going over, and there's pictures we need to get because we need some general basic data of the house other than what the seller's already told us up here in the lead sheet. So right now, there's two ways to get pictures. One, now these houses are typically vacant, right? Because that's what we're going after. It's easier to get pictures from vacant homes than it is for anything else. So one thing you can do, if the seller does not want you in their house at all because of COVID-19, then you will have the seller take the pictures for you. Okay? You will have the seller take the pictures. You'll tell the seller, I need about 40 pictures, 35, 40 pictures of the house. I need 3 pictures of every room. I need you to focus on anything that needs work. And I want pictures of the furnace, pictures of the AC unit, pictures of the roof, pictures of the foundation, the breaker box, the water heater. You give them a specific list of pictures of everything they need, and they fill out the walkthrough sheet, which has all that stuff on that. So you can get more information. Things like, okay, the seller said it's a 3-bedroom, and it technically is a 3-bedroom, but you have to walk through 1 bedroom to get to another bedroom. I don't count that as a 3-bedroom. That's a walkthrough. And then so it's actually only a 2-bedroom. That's what that walkthrough sheet will determine, is those types of things. And to make sure that the seller was being honest with you about the condition. Now, 50% of the time, they've overestimated what this house is really, what the problems are with this house. They've underestimated, I should say. So you go and get pictures. You get the walkthrough sheet. You get a quick rehab bid of what it's going to take to do this. Now, this is not something, you guys, you do not have to be contractors. Honestly, you can, if any of these steps you can skip, you could skip this one step. You can even wholesale these houses with getting no bids, not even submitting a quick, any kind of rehab, because it's really not, if you're going to be wholesaling the house, it's really not important to you what your thoughts are on what the rehab will cost. It's important to the person buying, but you don't know how they're rehabbing the house. You don't know what their scope of work's going to be. You don't know if they're just going to do a light, quick paint job and rent it out, or if they're going to do a full-blown gut to the studs deal where they resell this house. All your job is to do is to make sure that you show them everything that's wrong with the house through these pictures, and that they know the general condition of the property. Does that make sense? In fact, if I had to say a third mistake that most new investors mess up, it's the rehab bid. So the first one is they've underestimated the house. That's one problem. Second one is they've overestimated the value of the house. That's second. And third is they mess up the rehab numbers just because they don't know. They put, I see so many people send me so many deals, but they'll say, the house only needs $10,000 in work. That's like the number everybody uses. And it might easily, visually, by looking at the pictures, it needs 30. So rather than looking like you're trying to pull a fast one, don't even say a number. But if you want to get a quick number, you can do a quick rehab bid. We use price per square foot. We just have some quick numbers that you can punch into a spreadsheet. You guys have that tool. You can use that tool. You can get a quick idea on what the rehab will cost, and then you find your maximum offer price. So now you know what the ARV is because you've ran comps. You know what the rehab is going to take. You can figure out what kind of spread you need in between what price that the equity is that whoever you sell it to. And then you subtract out what you have to make. And now what's left over is your max offer price, right? You've got that formula. What are you guys using right now for a max? Like Josh, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm on.
What's for you guys over there in Lincoln, Nebraska, what kind of spread are you trying to create? I know you're in a tough market it's very competitive, and still, even after COVID, it's very still pretty competitive. What multiplier are you guys using?
Still at 70%, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's still working.
Okay, good. So that's still working. So Bader, are you here? He might have jumped off. I think he's around the same area. Anybody else? What multiplier are you guys using?
70% here in Columbus, Ohio.
Bader just said he'll go up to 80 if it's a hot area.
We don't use a multiplier in Indianapolis. I just target at least 40K spreads.
Okay.
And we try and make sure that the profit is double the rehab.
Okay.
That way we don't end up doing a 60K rehab just to make 20 grand.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. I like that. So, your sweet spot, but one solid kind of across the board. I'm getting some messages here that the microphone. You guys can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hang on a second, guys. I'm getting a message here. Okay. So across the board, you can use that 0.7. So a lot of times it's ARV times 0.7 minus your rehab less your wholesale fee. That number changes depending on your area. So you find your maximum offer price, and then you call the seller to make an offer. Okay. Now I'm going to move my picture from over here. There it is. Okay. So you've got your offer price. You call the seller and make an offer. Let's say you make your offer, then the seller counters. So let's say house is worth 100 grand. They wanted 80,000. You offered 40,000, and they countered you at 50,000. You have your choice here to stay firm on that counter or counter slightly. Okay. Or you can, seller stays firm on the counter, and you can set up Podio to do your auto drip sequence in order to continue to follow back up on that. Now, just so you guys know, right now with COVID happening, I'm not really budging. I'm making my offer and I'm staying firm, and I'm basically forcing the seller. I'm giving them 48 hours to make a decision, or I'm saying, listen, if you call me back next week, my offer, I'm not guaranteeing my offer will be the same. And in fact, it'll likely be less. You need to make a decision quickly. With this market falling, you've probably seen the news. With this market falling due to COVID, they're saying it could lose 35%. I can't risk the fact that next week you know, things could change. So I have to move really fast, and that's working for us really well. So you could, so you made your offer, could counter, you could stay firm, you could do setup follow-ups, or you could make your offer and set up a 30-day text sequence to follow up with that if they don't accept your offer. And then if the seller rejects offer, you know, 100% and doesn't even counter, you're not even close, they're not motivated, then you can just set up a again, you can set up an automatic follow-up sequence. So once you've made your offer, let's say your offer is accepted. I'm gonna move this over again, guys. So you've made your offer and the seller accepts your offer. Now you've got to get the contract signed, and then which you can send the contracts digitally to the seller. Seller signs, you send it to the title company, open escrow. You create your wholesale brochure, or you send your email in order to sell the house. I'm very big on emails. You should be able to build your cash buyers list to the point where you can send an email and sell a house. Is anybody doing that right now?
Done in the past.
No, I'm not.
Okay, we're going to work on that. You'll always have to make some phone calls, and you follow up with people over the phone a lot of times. Not always, but most of the time. But you're looking for people right now that can make a decision quickly. And we want people to be in and out of the houses the least amount possible. Again, if you get a discounted deal, amazing enough deal, and you just say, hey, it first come, first serve, and it's an amazing deal and it's super discounted, you'll sell it fast. So once you've got it sent out to the cash buyers list and you get it under contract, you close and profit. So jumping back here, you guys, jumping back. Let's talk about, let me move this out of my way. Is there any section on this transaction, this whole process, is there any section that you guys have a question on? Rod.
When you have the seller take pictures of the property, I mean, what's the best way you can tell them to send you the pictures? Some of them may not be too savvy about,
Well, my parents are the least technical savvy people on the planet, and almost everybody has an iPhone now, right? Or some kind of a smartphone. You can tell them simply, like, just say, hey, if you can take the pictures and email them to me, that's the way I prefer. However, if that's too difficult, just take the pictures with your phone and text them to me. You can do something as simple as that. So what Tyler was saying is, if you set up your VA with Google Voice, you can have them text those pictures through Google Voice to your VA, and guess what your VA does with them? Puts them right into your CRM or your Podio. Now you have them. Again, less steps. So I don't want to bog you down with work here. We want to systemize and optimize so that you can do the things that you want to do and make more money by doing only the things that you love to do or you're amazing at. Does that make sense? Okay, so any other questions on any of these processes right here?
I have one. So you said we start with the leads comes through different marketing channels, and the calls are received by Nexa. What about the calls made by cold calling team? Are they entering the leads into the system as well? Yep. Those same leads are being inputted right into your Podio system. But they would first put it into lead sheet, and then it goes to different VA to check on a quick ARV, or? Yeah. So it's a Google form. That's what's happening is when that cold caller's calling,
They get a lead, they stop, they put it into a Google form, which automatically puts it into your Podio. So it's there. Okay. So now that lead's there. Now your job is to, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. And this is where you can teach your VA to check that lead. It's basically a lead manager's job, right? Once the lead is in there, now it's handed off to a lead manager. So you have your Podio will automatically notify you as the owner, and you can set all this up, and your lead manager. And maybe you are the lead manager right now. Maybe you haven't handed that off yet, which you're going to be doing. That lead manager then looks at the lead and follows the rules that you've set up to decide if that's something that we should look a little closer to. So for example, it's very easy to have your VA, that lead manager, that virtual assistant, go in and do a quick version of what's the Zillow price, was estimate, what's the assessed value, what's realtor.com say the estimated value is, and get 3 sources of a quick number. If you're comfortable, you'll actually be copied on each one of those. You've got to let that VA do the work, and then you check their work. Does that make sense? So let me just tell you guys, I like to use this analogy. This will open up your mind a little bit with this analogy. If you're so hands-on that you feel like you have to do everything for the VAs, you will end up doing everything always, and they won't learn anything. So here's the analogy. Have you guys ever been on a trip and you some, like maybe Jeff who's a little bit more old school like me will understand this really well, but you ever go on a trip and you go somewhere and you're there for like a week or two, and you just use your phone, and everywhere you go, you use your GPS to get you everywhere you want in maps, right?
Right.
That's how you get there. After a week of being there and using your GPS, at the end of the week, you still know absolutely no way possible to get anywhere because you've relied on your GPS and you haven't looked around to see where stuff is. You just follow your GPS, right?
Correct.
Now, let's say you go somewhere and there's no GPS, and you just said, hey, I'm going to learn my way around, and I'm going to, maybe I'll make a wrong turn here and there, but I'm going to learn that, okay, at that building I need to take a left, and okay, I recognize that place. And you put away your phone for a minute and don't use GPS after a week, you know where everything is, right? If you use GPS, you're still lost. At the end of the week, you're still lost. You still don't know. And without your phone, you're not getting anywhere. Put your phone away after a week, all of a sudden now you look around, now you know where things are at. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, why I tell you that story is this. If you hire a VA or anybody and you constantly do everything for that VA, you're the GPS, and your VA doesn't know how to do anything without you. But if you just say, hey, I'm going to give you this task, do this, this, and this, and I'll check your work, now all of a sudden they have to do it. I'm going to be referring back to that. As you guys, when we do our follow-up calls next week and the week after and the week after and all that, and I follow up with you guys, mark my words, the conversations we're going to be having is, hey, my VA doesn't know how to do this or this, or I'm slowed down because of this, this, and this. And I'm going to ask you what the process is, and I'll discover, just mark my words, that you're doing too much and you need to do less. Your business will run better the less you do and the more you rely on the people that you hire. Okay? So what you're going to do as you just kind of roll around and just kind of group on that question is you're going to require your VA on every deal that comes through the pipeline. You're going to require that VA to give you a quick number on what the ARV is. Now, your same VA, you're going to teach how to do comps. That's going to be part of the process. We're going to be covering that in detail, but you're going to start, now you're going to be copied on those emails. You're going to test your VA. You're going to give them, they're going to have to do that job. You're just going to follow up and check their work. Does that make sense? You want to get to the point where you can trust their numbers, and that will take a little bit of training. It's not something you do like that overnight. But at least if you just say, hey, you know, I gave this guy a property to run the comps on, and they were way off on the numbers, so it's just easier for me to do it. You will never exit this whole process, guys. You will never exit. Just let them do it. Let them make mistakes. Once you've discovered that this person that you've hired has the core values that you need to do a good job, as long as they're fast, as long as they're accurate, as long as they're have a high motivation to hit the deadlines, as long as they've got a fast response time, as long as they're a good communicator, if they have those core values, you can train them to do anything. Okay, again, every piece of this whole process, show me one piece of this that you absolutely have to do.
None of it.
You're gonna teach us how to do nothing, Matt.
And guess what? Not only will you be happier, but you'll make more money. Now, there's a process to do. I can't turn your business virtual in literally one day and you're never doing a thing and you fly to a private island and checks come in forever. There is training that goes along. Training for your team, okay? Now, I've built the systems that you have. You have the systems in your folder right now to do all this stuff. You have them. You have to train your VAs to do these things, okay? So going back through here, so Ravi, just to answer your question again, one more time to make sure we're clear. That lead comes in, that if you have Nexa take the call, they've got it, the lead in your lead sheet in Podio. You get a notification that there's a lead. Your next step is to see if that lead is going to be something that you're going to want to move forward on. So you need a quick value. You're going to have your virtual assistant, every time a new lead comes in, you're going to tell your virtual assistant, hey, when that new lead comes in, I want you to do a quick value. What's the Zestimate? What's the Realtor.com value? And what's the assessed value? You send me that information. You tag me in Podio. Just tag me in Podio on what you think that property is worth on a quick value. Then they send you that number and you verify that they're accurate or not, and you give them coaching. See what I'm saying? Now you've just taught them something that now you don't have to do all that work. You just have the numbers in front of you. You didn't have to go to the assessor site and look. You didn't have to do all that stuff, right? It was done for you. Now, I think doesn't Podio, Tyler, doesn't it do all that?
What was that? I was typing.
The Zestimate's automatically in there.
No, I couldn't get the Zestimate pulled in.
Okay, so you'll have the VA go through to the Zestimate, and they'll send the assessed value and the Realtor.com, and they'll tag you in Podio, and they say, hey, here's what I've come up with. Now you decided at that point, is it worth my time to move forward on that deal? And the only factor is, are they motivated to sell? And is there equity? What do they owe? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, we good? Any questions so far?
I've got a couple. I'm going to line them up here, maybe 2 or 3 that you can absorb and answer.
Let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
right, first question. Well, these aren't in order of importance, but here they are. 1, how do you find your cash buyers right now? The market's changed. These guys who used to be cash buyers, a lot of them probably aren't, and there's new angles to doing this. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, what kind of wholesale fee or what formula are you using to price your properties, and what kind of wholesale fee are you making? Well, that's 2 good ones right there. I'll leave that be for you to answer both of those.
So wholesale fees in
Yeah.
my area, most of the properties that we deal with are $100,000, $120,000 houses. Okay, which Jeff, I believe you're over in Indy, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you're going to be very similar probably to. And hey, Ryan, aren't you in Indy?
He is. He's
Okay.
a friend of
You
mine.
guys-
Yep, I know Jeff.
Okay, so you guys are dealing with about the same prices of properties as me, right?
Right.
So in that
Yep,
price
80 to
range,
120.
yep, in that price range, 100% is going to depend on what price you get them accepted. But I'm just going to tell you, on average, you're going to be in that $5,000 to $10,000 range on a wholesale fee.
Okay.
That's just going to be the number that usually it's. Now, if you get a ridiculous deal and you buy a house for $10,000 that's worth 120 and it needs 20,000 in equity, you're going to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Now, I'm gonna jump on the whiteboard tomorrow and line this out and dial that question in for you a little bit better. Because I want to show you, I want to make sure you guys aren't leaving any money on the table, but it kind of fits in when I do the comps. So when I go over comps tomorrow, I'm going to jump back to that and dial in more detail. Cash buyers, you are 100% correct. When it comes to cash buyers, people that were buying yesterday, last week, last month, may not be buying right now. It's more important than ever to be building your cash buyers list. So how can you do that right now? Well, first of all, and I can get into this more detail. First of all, you need to find out who's buying now. And how do you do that? One way you can do it is, again, I'm very, very big on email. Jeff, are you on, are all you guys on Instagram?
No, I'm not.
Okay, do me a favor, Jeff. Your homework is get on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm going to explain why in a minute. Now, this is a long process for you if you're brand new because you have no followers, but you got to start now, right? Who in here follows me on Instagram? Anybody? Rod, you do. Dave Bader, a lot of you guys do. Have you noticed how often I tease somebody with, hey, do you want this information? If you do, send me your email. How often do I post that in the course of a week?
At least about twice.
Two to three times a week. Now, do I do that just for fun? No. I do that because Instagram could disappear tomorrow, and unless I've captured somebody's email, if they shut down my account tomorrow, I still have everybody's email address I asked for. So from here on out, you guys are going to do a couple things. Two things. If you notice what I do, this is why, Jeff, I want you to follow me on Instagram, because Instagram makes this really easy to do. And everybody in here should be doing this. If you're not, I'm telling you, you're leaving money on the table. One, be asking questions that you can ask to get people to give you their email address. Okay? I'm going to give you an example in a minute. Two, do surveys and quizzes to get people to give you the information you're looking for. How many of you guys, do you guys see me do the quiz, the surveys where I'll say, hey, who's doing this or this? Pick one, A, B, or C. Are you guys seeing that?
Yeah.
Does anybody remember which one I did this week? I asked a question this week and I got a ton of responses on it. I asked a question this week. What's the most important thing to you right now? Funding deals, finding buyers, or finding sellers, cash buyers? Right. Funding deals, finding deals, or cash buyers? I asked that. Now, what can I do with that information? I can find out exactly what everybody's thinking. You could do this, and I have done this, but this week I use that for example, but I've done this one a lot. I'll say, due to COVID-19, what is the strategy you're looking to do most? Buy properties for cash, lend private money, or are you looking to, do fix and flips? I'll put something like that in. What can I do with that information? Well, if somebody votes on that quiz and says, I'm looking to buy properties for cash right now, guess what? I just added a cash buyer to my list. What if somebody says, I'm not buying anything for cash, but I'm lending money? Then all of a sudden, I have somebody that could be a private lender. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That you guys should be doing this. You should be communicating. This is your opportunity to build relationships with your social media groups. Don't sit back. I remember, so I joined a mastermind about June of last year. And the guy that runs the mastermind that I'm in, He looked at my Instagram account and it was pathetic. Okay, I had less than 1,000 followers and I never posted. I had 400 followers. This is last June. And he's like, your account's pathetic and you're not even posting. And I'm like, yeah, but what's that? Why is that a big deal? He's like, because you're leaving massive amounts of money on the table. And he said, Matt, you have to start doing stories. You have to grab the camera, turn it on, and put yourself on a video and do a story. And I'm like, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be that guy. He's like, well, you're leaving massive amounts of money. And he was right. So I started doing that. Not only have I got, by doing that, I've communicated, I've built relationships with those. Now my Instagram following has 10x'd since June of last year. I went from 400 something to 4,000. Okay. And now my audience communicates with me. But if I post, who's looking for, I've got people from Instagram to buy properties from me in the Quad Cities. Okay. Cash buyers. You guys have to be doing the same thing. So you might find people in your backyard. You might find somebody across the country. Okay. But you've got to communicate with them. You've got to do surveys. You've got to find out what the market's doing. You should be every single week, at least once a week, you should be saying something that will get somebody to give you your email address. Hey, I've got a deal I'm working on right now that's got massive equity. Who out there is like, here's a survey. You can do the question where they can put their email in. You guys see how I do it. Just start paying attention to what I'm doing. But you can ask, do a survey and just say, who's still buying right now? Have you guys seen me post that? Have you guys seen me post, hey, who's still buying right now? And people will respond. That should be done on Facebook and Instagram, both. You should be posting on Facebook every week. One thing I'll do is I'll just post a deal. I'll post not even put an address. I'll just post a general, hey, I've got a deal coming down the pipeline. It's, dirt cheap, lots of equity. Who's interested? Send me a DM. Boom, 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 boom. Somebody responds, I'm interested. Okay, guess what I say once they hit my DM? Guess what the very next thing I ask them is?
What's your email?
What's your email? Give me your email. I sent to my VA today, let's see, what did she say? Daisy sent me an email today. Just for fun, I'll show you guys. Total of 28 new emails I got today off of posting one thing. 28.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
So she has access to your accounts and then reads the messages and.
I could give her, but all I did, now I do it a little old school. Tyler hates it when I do it this way. All I do is I take my phone, and every time somebody responds, I screenshot.
Okay.
And then I have the screenshot. I just go into my photos and forward a whole bunch right to an email to her, and she then takes them, goes into our MailChimp, and uploads the emails into MailChimp.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask, if there's like some fancy zap that Tyler made to push all that around here and there, but all right.
So here's the deal. I would be able to do it more automated if I had the swipe up feature on Instagram, but you have to have 10,000 followers to get to swipe up. And I don't have 10, I only have 4.
You can pay for that,
I know, but your engagement drops big time.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, there's no faster way to find out what's going on in the world than your social media. You're on Facebook, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How many followers you got on Facebook?
Probably very few. Because I'm busy reading everybody else's stuff and not posting.
He's got to get in groups and start finding people.
Okay, so yeah, that's another thing. So every one of you guys should be going into search button, into your search bar. Here's another thing I'm going to teach you right now. This is powerful. You will get buyers from this. You will find cash buyers right now. Go into your search bar into Facebook and search for, like Indianapolis, buy and sell. Just do a search for Indianapolis, buy and sell. Yeah, real estate, buy and sell. And what'll happen is groups will come up. So you can do it in Lincoln. You guys can do it. Rod, where do you live?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Oh, that's a good market. Columbus, buy, sell, trade. You can you type in buy, sell, trade, buy and sell, real estate, buy and sell. And what will happen is all these groups will come up, and some of these groups have thousands of people in them. Then you apply to be accepted into this group. Typically, they're going to ask you 3 questions to make sure you're not a robot. You ask 3 questions. Within 24 hours, you're accepted into the group. You get in the group. You could post something like, "Hey guys, who in here is buying? Who in here is still buying post COVID-19 in Indianapolis?" Or, "Hey, I've got a deal under contract. It's X price. Any investors that have cash that can close fast." And then you start friending people, Jeff. Start friending people. Facebook gives you free 5,000 friends. Friend. Go into those groups. Everybody that says they're buying, friend request them on Facebook. And then grab their emails. "Hey, man, you're interested? Send me a DM with your email. I'll send you over the details."
And then now that you're friends with them, keep your stories going. That way you know
Then you've got your now you're communicating, you're doing stories. Get out of your comfort zone. Capture emails. When I don't think any of you guys get any of my emails for my properties. I don't believe. Do you guys see any of the emails I send for that? I have who does? Bader?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe David does. But I send emails once a week, and I can't send more than one because we get such a big response. We have more cash buyers buying from us right now than we did pre-COVID-19. You just got to find them. So I've done what, just so you guys know, when I joined this mastermind that I'm in June of last year, I had 200 people on an email list.
for real estate.
Yeah. Or just,
It was tiny.
I had hardly anybody on my email list, and I had hardly any followers on Instagram. 6-8 months later now, I've got an email list of 4,000.
What's education? It's probably like 7,000.
7,000 emails. And it's not like I'm putting 1,000 a week in. I'm just every day, like today, 28 I added. Okay, every day, get in the habit of getting emails and get in the habit of communicating and get to the point where you can send an email and sell a house. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Pretty simple.
Start communicating. Become like Josh. I've noticed, and maybe it's because I just maybe you were doing this before this, Josh, but I noticed you're very engaged with stories with your, I'll follow all you guys back if you follow me. If I'm not, just let me know and I'll jump in and follow you. But Josh, I noticed that you're engaged. You're doing stories, almost every day now. Maybe you were before, maybe you weren't, I'm not sure, but people like watching that stuff.
Yeah, I just kind of started this year doing that. I don't know. It does help people. It does build credibility too. So whenever you do meet buyers and stuff, they know you're already in the market doing stuff and you're a real wholesaler or a real seller. So it does add a lot of credibility for sure.
All the time.
Yeah. So
Thinking, hey, Josh is a real estate.
yeah. So think about this. So how many times a day do you guys see Coca-Cola ads? Probably can't think of any, but I guarantee you see it 50 times. And when you think I need something to drink, you think Coca-Cola. Okay. Same with your buyers. If they see you all the time, you're always at the top of their mind. And then you'll be like, man, this Jeff guy from India, he's got a lot going on. Man, he just sent out a deal. I better jump. He's communicating with people every day. He's selling houses. I better get involved with this guy. Perception is you're involved every day. You've got a lot going. People want to be part of something that people are already a part of. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So your mission forever, from now until forever, you can either work really, really hard, or you can make this business so damn easy that it's almost scary. You want to send an email and sell a house. Send an email, sell a house. The only way you do that is to build a big email list. So your mission is to get as many emails as you can. You get those emails through social media, and you can get them through social media by friending people and then going into these groups, these buy and sell real estate groups. Those are real people. And think about, some of these have 10, 20,000. Start posting in those groups, getting involved with people, asking questions, providing value. You see somebody ask a question that you know the answer to, jump in there and answer the question for them. They're going to look at you as somebody providing value. And then when you ask for something, people will jump in and respond to you. Build your list, push people into your DM to grab their email, provide value, and add 20 emails a day. You get 100 a week. In a year, you got 5,000. And you got 5,000 people that are engaged with you. You don't even need a list bigger than that. You send an email, you sell a house. Yeah, that's even like down, that's like next level. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? If you don't know what to do, just copy off of me, guys. Just watch what I'm doing on Instagram and copy it. Okay? I don't give a crap.
I have a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
So for social media, are there any books or guides or anything that for kind of a quick refresher that you'd recommend? And same thing for negotiations.
Well, we're going to talk. That's Ryan, right?
Correct.
Ryan, we're going to talk negotiating tomorrow, really in depth.
Cool.
So I'll save that. But social media, Ryan, no, really, I've read a lot of the books thinking I'm going to read something like mind-boggling. And I swear, you guys, and I learned my stuff from being in my mastermind from Mark Evans. He taught me what I know about social media, and I'm telling you, it's not difficult. Like people's stuff, comment on their stuff. When somebody comments and likes on your stuff, comment back. When you see somebody's story, like their story. When you see, do quizzes, asking people what they like. Do questions, asking people for input. Communicate with people through your stories. Post stuff every day. Post yourself. I absolutely despise selfies. I despise doing the videos, but I have to because it's part of the process. Gotcha. I'm telling you, the first time I did this last June or July, I stood there with the camera 14 times and I kept deleting. I couldn't do it. I'm sweating because I don't want to do a story of myself. Yeah. I hate it. And I've spoke on stages across the country, you guys, and I still was
you just do it while you're driving.
And Mark, we would go in our group and I'd be like, man, I just don't think I can do it. I'm not that guy. He goes, you gotta be. And now it's normal. Now it's no big deal. And you know what's funny? I'll get together with my buddies, the guys that I'm closest friends with. They're not even real estate guys, some of them, and they make fun of me. Yeah, man, I saw your story today. Let me do an impression of you. And they'll make fun of me, my best buddies. I don't even give a crap because I made more money last week than they made last year, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care what people think. It's just part of the process.
Gotcha.
So
and then
go ahead.
Did you have more?
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Vetting and conversion, and this kind of applies to vetting VAs. On I saw the 50+ reviews and the disc text first, but also vetting contractors, vetting cash buyers. So you're not going to get flakes. That all of a sudden they're 2 days away from close and they're like, hey, I want to do an inspection, crap like that.
Well, first of all, I mean, on that side, on the cash buyer side, you should be asking for a big enough earnest money that even if they do flake, you still make money.
Gotcha. So that pretty much handles.
Yeah. So I do minimum, you guys, I do $4,000 on every deal, minimum. I typically have no money in earnest money, zero, $1. Most 99% of the deals I do, it's $1 earnest money. And if I collect $4,000 from somebody, even if he flakes, I still make money. Okay, that's step one. The only way to control human behavior with buyers is cash. Get their money.
Okay.
Secondly, so inspections, like if I've got somebody's money in the inspection, there is no inspection period. Like, okay,
Yeah.
hey, Ryan, I'm interested in the property. I want to put it under contract. Well, have you inspected it yet? Well, no, I want to put it under contract first. No, I got 14 other people that already responded that want this house.
Yeah.
Go do your inspection. Come back to me. First earnest money gets it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's how your inspection process should work. Like we leave it open. Hey, I'm interested in the house. I want to put it under contract. No, go do your inspections. As soon as it goes under contract, you're sending me $4,000 and we move on.
Cool.
What other question did you have, Ryan?
Like vetting
Contractors?
yeah, vetting if there's any expert techniques on top of just the disc test.
So contractors, really easy way for contractors is go in and get them from Facebook swap sites.
Gotcha.
Why? Because
I've done
now
that before. I've gotten tons of leads, but then they started flagging my posts.
who flagged them? Who in a group?
Whoever the admin is, or
Okay, so do it in the Facebook Marketplace then, Ryan. Join every group, but go into Facebook Marketplace. And here's the other thing: is have VAs get their own accounts.
Yeah.
So
and have them
do it, guys. I do it through Amanda. I have never posted.
Yep.
I have never posted for a contractor once. It looks just like this sweet girl that's looking for a contractor. I don't want them to know it's a professional guy. So you could have your VA start a Facebook. They probably already do. And just have them post, hey, I'm looking for a contractor to do plumbing. Who do you guys recommend? That's as simple as it can be. People start responding. Use Ace Plumbing. This guy. And now they're tagged. Now you can click on them and see if they got, see what they're all about. If they're standing there with, a bottle of booze and whatever, face tattoos, maybe they're not the best fit for what you're looking for. I don't know. But if you look at their post, and every post is posting pictures of the proud work that they've done, or they're always talking about, some of the stuff they can do, they're probably a good fit. You get a chance to kind of vet them before you even hire them.
Instead of showing
somebody
them
somebody
beer every
recommended them.
Gotcha. Okay. I got a bunch more questions, but I'll save some for tomorrow.
No, let's I'm going to be giving you guys some homework for tonight.
Uh-oh.
Let's hit them, Ryan. Let's go ahead and go through them.
Okay. I was asking about like kind of follow-up scripts that you use for reaching out. Like I don't really do any follow-up. I just landed 8 deals off the MLS in like the last 2 months. I buy a ton from wholesalers.
So Ryan,
I need to follow up more.
You've got Podio, right, already?
Correct. Yep.
You're telling me, I'm telling you, I get 75% of the deals I get from follow-ups. You're telling me you're not following up with your leads on Podio?
Not at all.
Oh my gosh. You are sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
You are sitting on a gold mine. You do RVM?
We just started doing it.
Okay. Let me tell you how. I'm going to tell you how to make.
Calling and text too.
I'm going to tell you how to make $500,000 in the next 60 days.
Cool.
Go into every single person that you've ever talked to in Podio and send them RVM. All it is, RVM, you guys, is a 2 voicemail system. How many of you guys are doing RVM, by the way? Anybody?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get set up with RVM. You guys want me to have Amanda teach how to set this up tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make that.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 It's a 2 voicemail system. If you don't do 2 voicemails, you will have meltdown on your phone. You won't even be able to handle it. It's got to be 2. I messed it up the first time and only did 1, and I could not get I couldn't use my phone. I couldn't use it because there was a call every 5 seconds. So, so your first voicemail that you drop, you do all of this stuff through CallRail. You drop the first voicemail, and it's something super simple. Like I use such a generic voicemail that it actually works if I talk to the person last week, last month, last year, or 5 years ago. I say, so all of a sudden the way RVM works is they look down at their phone and they're like, wait, I just missed a call and I got a voicemail. They didn't hear their phone ring. It just immediately drops a missed call into their box. So all of a sudden they missed a call, they listen to the voicemail, and it says, hey, this is Matt. I talked to you a while back about buying your house, and we couldn't come together on agreement. I wanted to follow up with you to see if you were still looking to sell, if you still wanted to sell. Hi, this is Matt. I talked to you a while back. I just wanted to see if you were still interested in selling your house. That's all the first one is. Super simple. And then the last sentence on the first one is, just call me back on the number in your caller ID. Just call me back on the number on your caller ID. Ryan, you're getting ready to make a lot of money, my friend. You have literally gold in front of you.
I haven't been doing a lot of marketing because I've been buying so much from wholesalers and on the MLS and just word of mouth. So I mean that's been working. But
how many leads do you have in your Podio system?
Probably 3,500.
Oh, dude, you got so much money sitting there; it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I can't even believe when you do this, you're gonna freak out.
Pretty sad.
I'm closing deals right now, guys. I shut my marketing down for COVID for like 2 weeks and didn't do any marketing and just did RVM because there were so many leads.
Yeah.
So
we did do an RVM test, and I didn't know what the heck was happening because at like 10 o'clock, from like 10 o'clock till 11:30 at night, I got like 53 calls.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. And I'm going to have Amanda go through this process, but I'm just telling you the voicemails now. So that first voicemail drops, they pick it up, they listen to it. Yeah, I've been wanting to sell my house. So they call you back. That call drives back into another voicemail. That voicemail says, hi, this is Matt. Sorry I missed your call. I'm on the line with another seller. Leave me a message and I'll call you right back. Hi, this is Matt. Sorry I missed your call. I'm on the phone with another seller. Leave me a message and I'll call you back. Okay, so what's going to happen is this. They're going to get the first voicemail. They're going to listen to it. Yeah, I'm still interested in selling. They call the second voicemail. The voicemail pops up and you don't answer. 50% of the people or 70% of the people are going to be like, man, this guy won't even, he's so busy, won't even take a call, and they'll hang up and you'll never hear from him again. 30% of the people are so motivated that they leave you a voicemail that hey, Matt, I just missed you. I'm still interested in selling my house. Call me back. So now you only call back the people that leave the voicemail in the second voicemail.
Gotcha.
Now you've got.
Do you do a certain number?
Huh?
Because you probably, I mean, of course I don't want to do 3,500 in one drop. What do you?
No. No, you're going to drop 100 or 200 at a time. That's it.
Okay.
Then you kind of feel the volume there and make sure your team's ready to handle it.
Gotcha.
That's the other thing we messed up the first time.
I use Nexa also, or Answer or whatever. Bless you.
Okay, so we'll get into more detail in that tomorrow. Any other questions, Ryan, that you have?
Not really right now, but I'll come up with some more for tomorrow, I'm sure.
Okay.
So,
Jeff,
cool.
any questions from you?
Real quick, what's your minimum baseline for equity that you will continue talking to that person?
That's a really good question. That varies a little bit depending on area, but I would say if you don't have a quick number is 50%. So house is worth 100 grand and I can't buy it for at least 50 grand, then I don't have enough room to do any rehab and equity to wholesale the deal.
Okay.
Bader, what are you seeing on that?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
What's the minimum equity you'll do to keep pushing forward on the deal? I typically kind of tell my team if it's worth 100, we don't really want to deal with it unless we can buy it for 50 or less.
I mean, I just picked up one, and since it was in pretty good shape, and I bought it for 127, and it's probably worth like 170 in mint condition.
But
I'll
it
just
needed
sell
almost
for
nothing.
160 and not quite mint condition. I'll still, I mean, we're looking to net 20 grand on it and don't have to do hardly any work. So I'll take those all day. That's 127 on 170. So there's not a ton of room, but the
You still
rehab
have
was
you still have
5,000.
35%. You still have 35% there.
Okay.
Yeah. Josh, you seen about the same? You're if it's worth 100 and you deal with it about 50, 60 cents on the dollar. You still here? Maybe he's gone. Okay. So, but Jeff, my quick numbers are, now we're really, really good at buying houses really cheap. So that's part of the reason why I say 50%. Because here's the deal, you guys. I'm not worried. I'm so good at generating leads and we're so good at the conversion that when a lead comes in, I don't give a crap if I buy it or not, because I'm going to buy the next one. So if you have that attitude and you really operate on the principle of least interest, you'll get more deals anyway.
Okay.
I mean, I walk away from a deal worth $1,000 apart. That's a normal day for me.
Wow. Real quick before we shut down here, I don't know if anybody's experienced this, but I've got, you say dig up these old leads. Okay, well, I've got stacks of Nixies, okay, from, it must have been 3 or 4 years ago that I never acted on. I mean, things wrapped up in rubber bands that I haven't touched. I didn't ever go to try to find their phone numbers or anything, which has got to be back then gold. Are those
so these are lead sheets?
These are not lead sheets. These are just postcards that came back to me from marketing that I did when I was doing heavy direct mail 2 or 3 years ago. And I never followed up on the Nixies, the ones that came back, with the wrong address or whatever it was,
Yeah. Hang on a second. We use the printer that
I have a neat scanner.
Yeah, neat
where
scanner.
you can stack like a couple hundred postcards and it feeds them through and makes them into one big PDF.
Yeah,
and you
so
send it to your VA.
so yeah, this is super simple. There's a specific scanner that you buy.
Okay.
That I'll have, let's do this. Come up with the link for that and we'll share it with everybody. There's a scanner you buy that you put all your postcards that come back and it feeds them through really fast. And then you send that to your VA and your VA skip traces.
It skips traces them, and then you just do your thing, either cold call, mail, or
Yep.
with the same RVM situation. Hey,
Yep.
I talked, no,
you can still do all that.
Yeah, I talked to you,
Cold calling.
several years ago, and
Yep.
just getting back into things, interested in selling your house,
Yep. And those sometimes can be your best, some really good leads, mainly because everybody else doesn't take the step to follow up with and figure out who they are and talk to them.
Okay. Thanks.
But there's that scanner that we use is really key because it's so quick on how you can get them.
Okay.
Tara, are you still with us? Tara still on?
Yeah, she's muted though. She might come on in a second.
Okay. I'm just curious. I hadn't heard from her for a minute. Okay, so here's the thing is I want to get you guys some homework to do. So one thing I want you guys to do, one is your VAs, your virtual assistant, your ads. Follow up on all those ads and get anybody that comes in, have them do the Google, the Tony Robbins, and get those disc tests back. Now, on the people that have sent you a disc test back. Anybody that's a strong C, and I think one of you guys, maybe it was David, that said you had a strong SC. I would let that one, I would move forward on that one too for the next level. But anybody that's got a strong C, send them a message and say, hey, send me a voicemail, a voice text. Send me a voice text with all of your current qualifications and skill sets. Send me a voice text with all your current qualifications and voice text, what you do amazing. And also let me know if you'll work third shift your time, which is first shift my time, and what your internet connection speed is. So have them do it through voice, because I want you guys to hear them talk. Because remember, this is the voice. Some of these people are going to be dealing directly with your leads. Okay, and you could be communicating directly with them. A lot of it you'll be doing through email or through Podio, but some of it's going to be through voice.
What was your question about the time?
See if they'll work third shift, which is first shift our time. Third shift their time. Some people won't because they're like, I got kids, I can't. Okay, well, I need you to be available during when I'm working hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So go back through. That's the next level. That's the next phase of screening out. Okay, and let's see what you guys come up with tomorrow. I want everybody to pull a list on listability. Do your minimum. Just do a minimum list on listability, and skip trace that list. Okay. Let's start there, and then review, and then just do review of everything else we covered today, and make sure you see if you have. Let me know if you have any questions, because tomorrow we'll start out with just some Q&A and cover the virtual assistant piece. But tomorrow we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot of stuff to cover tomorrow. So I want you guys to do all that stuff, and tomorrow's going to be I know today was a little information overload, but I'm just telling you guys tomorrow's even to the next level. Okay. Jeff, you okay?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay. Just remember, you guys, I want to make sure you guys are very clear on one thing. Tomorrow when this thing ends, this is not going to be the last time we communicate. Okay. Next week, we're going to jump on another Zoom. The week after that, we're going to jump on another Zoom. The week after that, the week after that. And I have it set up for an hour. It'll probably take an hour, maybe less. But if we have to go 2 hours, I don't care. And the main thing is I want you guys to understand this stuff, and I want you to implement, okay? Rod, you good?
Sweet. Good, man.
Okay, so you guys know what to do? Okay, get to bed early. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Get your homework done. And I'll see you guys at 9 o'clock tomorrow Central Time, okay?
All right.
Tyler's going to email you in the morning, by the way.